Did you know many retirees are leaving tropical paradises like Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Philippines? What's the real reason? In this article, we'll reveal the hidden truth behind 10 of Asia's most controversial retirement spots. Stay tuned, it could change your retirement plans. Welcome to Eagle Discovery, where we reveal things you've never known. 1. Thailand, once the ultimate retirement dream. For many years, Thailand was considered the ultimate destination for retirees. Sun-drenched beaches, a low cost of living, and a culture that made every visitor feel welcome. You could wake up to the ocean breeze in Hua Hin, sip fresh coconut water under a palm tree, and enjoy a hearty meal at a street market, all for less than $5. One of the most appealing aspects was the easy access to a retirement visa. However, things have changed dramatically. Rent, groceries, utilities, and healthcare have all become significantly more expensive. For example, a one-bedroom apartment in Chiang Mai that cost $300 per month in 2015 now ranges from $550 to $700. Meanwhile, private hospital costs have doubled. In 2023, retirees must prove they have $23,000 in a Thai bank account, a minimum monthly income of $1,850, and mandatory health insurance costing at least $1,500 annually. If you're over 75, the fees can be even higher. John, a 68-year-old retiree from California, has lived in Thailand for nearly a decade. While he enjoys his quiet life in Chiang Mai, he now faces a dilemma. He needs more money to meet the new visa requirements, or he has to leave. Additionally, while cities like Bangkok and Phuket have English-speaking locals, other areas can feel isolating. Tasks like opening a bank account or renewing a driver's license become stressful without knowledge of the Thai language. 2. Malaysia, rising costs and financial strain. Malaysia was once considered a haven for retirees, thanks to its affordable living and the popular Malaysia My Second Home program, which allowed foreigners to easily obtain long-term residency. For years, retirees were drawn by the promise of warm weather, cultural diversity, and a relatively low cost of living. However, recent policy shifts have significantly altered the landscape. Previously, retirees needed to show just $36,000 in liquid assets and a monthly income of at least $2,300 to qualify for the program. Today, those numbers have skyrocketed. Applicants must now present $150,000 in liquid assets and prove a monthly income of $9,100. That's a staggering 400% increase, which has effectively priced out many would-be retirees. The situation is compounded by a noticeable rise in everyday living costs. In cities like Kuala Lumpur, rent for a modest one-bedroom apartment has surged from $400, $500 per month to between $800 and $1,200. Dining out, which used to be an affordable luxury, has also seen price hikes, especially in areas popular with expats. Even local markets are no longer immune to inflation. These changes are placing tremendous pressure on retirees, particularly those living on fixed pensions. The dream of a peaceful retirement in Malaysia is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain, forcing many to reconsider their long-term plans or look elsewhere for more viable options. 3. The Philippines, challenges beyond the beaches. For decades, the Philippines has been one of Southeast Asia's top retirement destinations. With its white sand beaches, low cost of living, and widespread use of English, it seemed like an ideal place to settle down. Many retirees were drawn by the warmth of the locals and the ease of integration into daily life. But beneath the tropical charm, a number of serious challenges have begun to emerge. Infrastructure remains a major concern. Frequent power outages, unreliable public transportation, and internet speeds that lag far behind global standards have made day-to-day living increasingly frustrating. These issues are especially apparent outside major urban centers, where essential services can be inconsistent or altogether unavailable. Healthcare is another area of concern. While private hospitals in cities like Manila and Cebu can provide high-quality medical care, the costs are often on par with those in Western countries. In more remote areas, access to healthcare is limited, with understaffed facilities and a lack of specialized services. For older residents with ongoing medical needs, this lack of accessibility can be a deal breaker. Retirees also have to contend with environmental risks. Located in the Pacific Typhoon Belt, the Philippines is hit by numerous tropical storms each year. These typhoons can cause serious damage to property and infrastructure, adding another layer of uncertainty to life in the islands. Although the country still offers many attractions, including natural beauty and a relatively low cost of living, the growing list of practical difficulties has led some retirees to seek alternatives elsewhere in the region. 4. Vietnam, rising costs and new visa restrictions. Vietnam, once considered one of the most affordable and welcoming destinations for retirees in Southeast Asia, has undergone rapid changes in both policy and pricing. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang were formerly known for offering a high quality of life at a low cost, attracting expats and retirees from across the globe. But recent developments have begun to reshape the retirement landscape in Vietnam. In 2023, new visa rules were implemented that now restrict most foreign visitors, including retirees, to stays of just 30 days at a time. This means that anyone wishing to remain in the country longer must frequently leave and re-enter, a process that can be time-consuming, expensive, and disruptive. These new regulations have made long-term residency far more complicated than it once was. In addition to visa issues, the cost of living has seen a sharp uptick. Rental prices for one-bedroom apartments in Ho Chi Minh City, which once ranged from $400 to $600, have now risen to between $700 and $900. Dining out, once a highlight of life in Vietnam due to its affordability and quality, has also become more expensive, especially in neighborhoods popular with foreigners. Language remains a challenge as well. While English is spoken in some tourist areas and among the younger generation, retirees may still find it difficult to navigate daily tasks, especially in smaller cities or rural regions. These factors combined have made Vietnam a less appealing choice for retirees, particularly for those looking for stability, affordability, and long-term residency without bureaucratic hurdles. 5. Cambodia, a budget option with big drawbacks. Cambodia continues to attract retirees in search of a budget-friendly lifestyle, and for good reason. The country offers a relatively low cost of living, a laid-back atmosphere, and easy visa policies compared to its neighbors. For many, it appears to be a practical alternative to more expensive locations in the region. But this affordability comes with serious trade-offs. One of the most pressing concerns is the lack of reliable healthcare. Public hospitals in Cambodia are often underfunded and understaffed, and access to specialized care is limited. Most retirees rely on private clinics for routine needs, but when serious medical issues arise, many are forced to travel to Thailand or Vietnam to receive adequate treatment. This not only adds to the financial burden, but also creates stress in emergencies. Infrastructure challenges are another major issue. While cities like Phnom Penh and Siem Reap have seen some development, many areas still experience frequent power outages and limited public services. Roads in rural parts of the country can be in poor condition, and access to clean water and consistent electricity is far from guaranteed in smaller towns. While Cambodia may still be an option for more adventurous retirees who prioritize cost savings over comfort, the overall quality of life can be unpredictable. Anyone considering a move must weigh the financial advantages against the potential risks to health and security. 6. Indonesia, the dream of Bali fading away. For years, Bali stood out as a top destination for retirees looking to embrace a tropical lifestyle. The island offered an appealing mix of natural beauty, affordable living, and a relaxed atmosphere that made it an easy choice for many. However, the landscape is shifting quickly, and not just in terms of scenery. Rental prices have surged dramatically over the past few years. Back in 2018, it was still possible to rent a modest one-bedroom villa in areas like Canggu or Seminyak for around $500 per month. Today, that same property could cost anywhere between $1,200 and $1,800, depending on location and amenities. The rising popularity of Bali among digital nomads and short-term tourists has only intensified the housing crunch. Beyond the cost of accommodation, the general cost of living has also climbed. Restaurants and grocery prices have followed an upward trend, especially in tourist-heavy zones. Meanwhile, the island is grappling with environmental pressures, including waste management issues, water shortages, and coastal erosion. Adding to the complexity is the lack of a formal retirement visa. Most retirees rely on social or business visas that require regular renewals and trips out of the country. Combined with growing traffic congestion and air pollution, Bali's image as a peaceful retreat is gradually being replaced by concerns over sustainability and long-term livability. 7. China, language barriers and uncertainty. China has often been praised for its rapid modernization, sophisticated infrastructure, and dynamic cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen. For a time, it seemed a promising option for adventurous retirees eager to experience the vibrancy of a global superpower. But for many, the reality has proven more complex than expected. One of the most significant barriers is language. Outside of major tourist attractions, English is rarely spoken, making daily communication and accessing services difficult for non-Mandarin speakers. Simple tasks like opening a bank account, visiting a doctor, or navigating public offices can become overwhelming without translation assistance. Another concern is the lack of a clear pathway for long-term residency. Most retirees enter China on short-term tourist visas, typically valid for 30 to 90 days. These visas must be continually renewed, and approval is never guaranteed. Immigration rules are subject to sudden changes, leaving residents in a state of ongoing uncertainty. Support for foreign retirees is limited, and the bureaucratic process for extending stays or changing visa types can be complicated and inconsistent. For many, this level of instability outweighs the benefits of living in one of the world's most economically influential countries. 8. Japan, high costs and social isolation. Japan continues to capture the imagination of travelers and retirees alike with its orderly society, excellent healthcare system, and high standards of safety. From bustling cities to scenic countryside, the country offers an unparalleled quality of life. However, for retirees looking to stay long-term, the road is far from easy. Cost is a major hurdle. A one-bedroom apartment in central Tokyo typically costs between $1,500 and $2,500 per month. On top of rent, utilities, transportation, and daily expenses such as groceries and dining out can quickly strain a fixed income. While the healthcare system is known for its efficiency, non-citizens may face high out-of-pocket expenses without access to national insurance. Japan also lacks a dedicated retirement visa. Most retirees must rely on short-term stay permits or cultural activity visas, both of which require frequent renewals and do not provide a clear path to permanent residency. Social integration is another challenge. Japan is a culture of deep-rooted traditions and unspoken rules, and it can be difficult for foreigners, especially older adults, to form close relationships. For some, the language barrier and cultural expectations lead to a sense of isolation, even after years of residency. 9. South Korea, high costs and social expectations. South Korea has risen to global prominence for its high-tech cities, excellent healthcare, and dynamic culture. Seoul, in particular, has become a popular destination for expats drawn by the energy and convenience of city living. However, for retirees seeking long-term residence, South Korea presents a set of challenges that are hard to ignore. The cost of living has increased significantly. Rent in Seoul for a one-bedroom apartment now ranges from $1,200 to $2,500 per month. Food prices, utilities, and imported goods are also on the higher end, and taxation on daily essentials further inflates expenses. Despite its modern infrastructure, South Korea does not offer a clear visa pathway for retirees. Most must rely on tourist visas, which are typically valid for short periods and require frequent renewals. Gaining permanent residency involves a complex competitive process and often requires substantial financial investment or family ties. Culturally, there are high social expectations related to age, formality, and community norms. Retirees who do not speak Korean or fully understand these expectations may find it difficult to integrate, leading to feelings of social isolation despite living in one of the world's most connected societies. 10. Singapore, too expensive and difficult to settle in. Singapore is widely recognized for its cleanliness, safety, and world-class infrastructure. With high-quality healthcare, efficient public transportation, and a cosmopolitan atmosphere, it's often seen as a model city-state. However, for retirees, Singapore's many advantages come at a steep cost. Housing is exceptionally expensive. A one-bedroom apartment in central areas typically rents for $2,500 to $4,500 per month, depending on location and amenities. While the country's healthcare system is among the best in Asia, it is largely geared towards citizens and permanent residents. Foreigners often face high medical bills, with basic doctor visits costing between $80 and $150. In addition to the high cost of living, Singapore does not have a retirement visa program. Most retirees are only eligible for short-term tourist visas, which require periodic renewal and do not permit long-term residency. The only practical route to stay long-term involves high-cost investment schemes, which are out of reach for the average retiree. Although Singapore offers comfort, stability, and a high standard of living, these benefits are offset by financial and legal barriers that make it difficult for retirees to settle in unless they possess significant resources. Did you know that retirees are leaving the tropical paradises they once dreamed of living in? Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Philippines are among the countries on the list. But why are they leaving today? In this article, we explore the untold stories behind 10 of Asia's most controversial retirement destinations. Stay tuned, because what we discover could change your retirement plans forever.